Greetings and God's blessings to the people of the Virgin Islands. First off, I apologize for my casual appearance. I was at another event and the dress code was business casual. On the heels of yesterday's historic non-stop flight, I'm here to announce the BVI Tourist Board's non-stop concert featuring the internationally acclaimed recording artists Conscience, Rock City, Monet, and Vibe. This free concert will be held on June the 30th at the beautiful location of Brandywine Bay. Not only is this concert a celebration of our non-stop service between Miami and Beef Island, it signals this government's commitment to entertainment tourism, which enhances our overall tourism product by providing locals and visitors with activities that are vibrant and exciting. With the engagement of the events manager at the Tourist Board, we can expect more events throughout the year that will provide the opportunity for visitors to come from the United States, our neighboring United States Virgin Islands, other islands in our region, along with our very own residents, looking for the opportunity to enjoy our little piece of paradise. We can expect the return of the Music Fest in 2024. I can also announce an initiative where the government is investing $50,000 into our Virgin Islands artists. This investment is to help our artists to grow, develop, and take their artistry to the next level. This money and its investment will be managed by the Festival and Fairs Committee. I also look forward to our Emancipation Festival in July and August. As Minister of Tourism and Culture, I'm committed to assisting our cultural artisans in the development of their craft. I'm also committed to the establishment of regular cultural activities to enhance not only the visitor experience, but the pastimes of locals. With that very short announcement, I thank you, and I'll open for any questions that the media may have. So please, media members present, you can go right ahead with your questions.
Good afternoon. Cindy Roseanne, Guavaberry Media.
Good afternoon.
Just maybe 3 questions. What's the budget for, is it the non-stop concert?
Non-stop concert.
Non-stop concert. What's the budget for that?
I provided the BVI Tourist Board with a grant of $250,000.
Second question, has a budget been set for the Emancipation Festival?
I believe I have to double check and see how much we provided. It may be the same that we did last year. I think perhaps maybe $500,000. But there's a possibility we'll increase that given the fact that that may not be enough to do all the activities that we want to do.
Okay, and as when will a lineup be announced for Emancipation Festival?
Well, we have the chair of the Festival and Fairs Committee present. He's not on camera, but perhaps maybe he would be in position to answer that. I'm not in a position to answer when we'll have a lineup as yet.
The lineup would yes, in terms of good day. Is it on? Okay. In regards to the lineup, we actually will start releasing the lineup of entertainers and artists within the coming days. In terms of VIFFC, we already released the full schedule of events, so persons can know when festival begins, when are the pageants, the village opening, and so forth. But in the coming days, we'll start releasing the artists that will be performing. And
just one final question. And I had a brain block. I apologize. Emancipation Festival. I believe back about a year ago, I asked about it being free. Did we have any further discussions on that? And is that a possibility that the festival can be free to attendees for 2023?
Well, I know we have several free events, if I'm correct, chairman of the Festival and Fairs. But to have it entirely free, this is what I'll say. If the public wants it entirely free, we'll have to put more money into it because, of course, some of the money that's charged helps to offset costs. And that's a discussion that we can have with the public if they want us to invest more money in the festival. Of course, we know that the United States Virgin Islands Festival is completely free. A lot of persons compare us to that, of course. They have a bigger economy than we do. They make more money than we do. But of course, it is something that is possible if we invest more money. And of course, $500,000 doesn't represent the true cost of our Emancipation Festival and the events that we have grown accustomed to. So it's either we scale down the events to the money that we have, or we increase the amount of money. But we can't keep the events where they are and provide $500,000 and then decide that it's going to be free or to be at that particular scale. But that's a conversation I'm willing to have with the people. I think we'll have that conversation soon because we're going to be having, we're proposing some changes to how festival is being done, and I think at that time we can discuss whether the events should be free or not.
Just one final question while the rest of the media. The $50K that's going to be dedicated to or contributed to the local artists, how do they qualify for receiving any of that money?
Well, the chair of the Festival and Fairs will soon be putting out some information on that. It's going to be managed through the Festival and Fairs, so everything will be done through them. It won't necessarily be grants being given to anybody. It's going to be administered through the Festival and Fairs. So perhaps I can say have a conversation with Doc Walters or Festival and Fairs if anybody is interested.
Just a bit of clarity. It is monies that is dedicated to or to support local artists, right?
Yes.
So it's not money that they'll be given and they have to give back.
No, they don't have to give back
So
any
it's
money.
not a loan. Okay, thanks.
It's not a loan.
Good afternoon, Premier Cathy Richards, JTV News. A little follow-up on that very last question. This investment is coming in the form specifically for festival, or it's for general development of artists, local artists?
Yeah, development of our local artists, particularly musical artists.
You could explain a little bit more on this, because we're talking about seasons, we're talking about festivity that is coming up on the 30th of June, and we're talking about festival coming up as well in July, and we're talking about investing in local artists. Explain directly what this means.
I can provide a little bit more context to you. We have artists in the Virgin Islands who have a great deal of promise, great deal of talent, and I wanted to help to support these artists to take their artistry to the next level. It could be that artists need to be able to facilitate partnerships with international recording artists to do a recording in the studio. It could be something else. It could be a contribution towards an event that an artist is taking place that will help to promote that artist both regionally and internationally. You know, it could be a number of other things that could be done to help these artists, perhaps with their marketing and their promotion. But that's something that I'm going to lead to the Festival and Fairs to be able to determine what's the best use of the money for a particular artist. But the ultimate goal is to be able to have our artists raise their level, to be able to be more successful as artists, to gain greater visibility, to have better quality sound, better quality, songs that hopefully will make international airwaves and help to promote them as an artist. And one thing that will do for us as well, that will help to promote us as a destination and as a jurisdiction. They'll continue to be, because they're already ambassadors for the BVI. they'll be even better ambassadors for the BVI as a result of the investment that their government is putting into them.
Okay, Premier, could you recall the budget for festival that the government is putting towards it?
I believe it might have been the same as last year, which is about $500,000.
It's $500,000. What's the magnitude of the June 30 event that warrants a grant of 250?
Well, these events are expensive, you know, and Kathy, if you want to make money, you have to spend money. If you want to be in the tourism business, I think later this month you're going to have St. Kitts Music Festival, and you'll have a bunch of people from the BVI go there. But those festivals are not cheap. You know, they cost money, and if you want to be in the game, Kathy, you have to spend the money. And if persons are concerned about a little 250K, just wait until I really get going, Kathy, because I want to make the Virgin Islands a true destination for persons coming on that same Miami flight to the Virgin Islands. I want to have big artists, you know, artists internationally, regionally, and locally, and I can have events that will attract persons from certainly United States, Virgin Islands, and across the Caribbean.
With that being said, we can safely say this country is not broke.
No, we're not broke. We're not broke. But if we want to build the country, Kathy, you have to spend money to make money. So all of this that we're doing is in an effort to build our economy and to build our tourism industry.
Okay, and finally from me, we're talking about bringing back the Music Fest. What are some of the discussions that are taking place around that? We know that in the past it was something of a major feature in Cane Garden Bay. What are the discussions surrounding that in terms of location, logistics, and all of that to make sure that it comes back even better than it was before?
Yeah, other locations have been discussed. I don't think any final decisions have been made as it pertains to locations. So I'll leave that to the Tourist Board. The Tourist Board will be managing the Music Fest moving forward. So I'm pretty sure I've pledged to them that I'll provide them with some financial support early so that they can start their planning early, book artists early, and I'm pretty sure that they'll be able to put out a save the date at some point later this year so persons can start planning for music festival.
Okay, I said last, but give me one more, please, Premier.
Go right ahead.
And this is not related to what you're talking about now, but we yesterday started the hurricane season for the territory. There seems to be a great fear because of the extent of the heat that we're experiencing and seeing notice for our surrounding neighbors about heat waves. How prepared is this government to make sure that we are in a safe place come this hurricane season?
Okay, well, of course, I put out a message, and that message should have gone out today for persons to prepare for the hurricane season. Of course, the communities have to prepare themselves, everybody in their own community. Individual households have to make their preparations, and I urge them to do that right now. And of course, the government as well have been going about the business of cleaning up the place. Of course, we have the Minister for Solid Waste. He's been doing his own cleanup campaign, getting all the derelicts removed, of course, cleaning up all of the tree branches, etc. And of course, I know the work of cleaning guts has already commenced. There's still more work to be done, of course, but at some point, I'm sure the Minister of Communications and Works will come and give an update on all the work that is taking place as it pertains to preparing for the hurricane season. But we all need to get prepared. Of course, we know what happened in 2017, so we can't be caught flat-footed in the event that we have a hurricane pass. Of course, we pray that we don't have any impacts, but in the event we do, we should be prepared.
Thank you, Premier.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Premier. Dana Campa from the BVI Beacon. So first of all, what factors went into determining the lineup for this June 30th concert? And will it be an all-day event, evening event? How's it shaping up?
Yeah, perhaps maybe I'm not sure if the events manager at the Tourist Board wants to answer that.
Good afternoon once Once again, Dirk Walters, Events Manager, BVI Tours Board and Film Commission. So there were several factors, of course, that went into determining the performing artists for this, including availability, costs, and whatnot. And of course, as the Honorable Premier mentioned, this is a totally free concert. General admission will be free. So we expect a large influx of persons coming in. We invite persons from all around the world, including the region, locally, and next door in the USVI to come and participate in this event. And it is going to be the start of major projects and initiatives to come from the BVI Tourist Board, and it shows the government's commitment to enhancing tourism to the country. So we have these artists. We wanted to cover a broad spectrum of different genres of music, of course, and of course deal with, like I said, the availability of the artists within this time. Some artists are already on tour and things like that. So I do think that we've put together a nice array of artists for this event. Thank you. Okay, so repeating the name of the artists are Conscience from Jamaica, and we also have Rock City, we have Vibe, and we have Monet. We also have Kamau Georges, Jeremy Vanterpool, and a host of other artists and DJs that will be announced forthcoming.
So there was also a question about whether it's an all-day event or evening. Are we just looking at evening?
Yes, we're looking at the evening. Gates will be open from 6 p.m. and the whole theme is non-stop. So we will start from 6 p.m. until. And also, in addition to the outdoor, the stage show, the concert, when we leave from there, we are actually going to be having some events at indoor venues at various locations to carry on the whole theme of the non-stop, which will also be live streamed from those venues as well. All of this will be announced shortly. Thank you.
All right, and for these year-long events that we have planned, are they going to be mostly focused on artists, or is there going to be some sort of incorporation of sports tourism has been mentioned, or in other areas of cultural tourism in the territory?
Yeah, well, this particular mandate, as it pertains to the tourist board, is focusing mainly on entertainment tourism, this particular thing that we're speaking about. But we know that myself as Minister of Tourism and the Tourist Board, we have plans to diversify the tourism product. And that means, and this is part of the mandate I've given, more support for sports tourism, more support for the arts, cultural tourism, heritage tourism, events tourism. So those are all the directions we're going. We do very well in the existing streams that we have in terms of the tourism product, but there is opportunity now to be able to expand. Especially you have the flights which are taking place. That should lead to an influx of visitors. And now is the opportunity for persons who are taxi drivers to get their tours ready, because you'll have more, conceivably more persons traveling to the territory as it becomes easier to travel here. You get your restaurants ready, persons who want to invest in hotel properties. Now is the time.
All right, and final question. So looking ahead to August Festival, as we know in previous years, one of the big challenges is just timing. It ends up being difficult to fit everything in as the date comes up. How are conversations going with partners? And this may be a question for you, but how is planning just generally going so far? What's the feedback been?
Okay, thank you for that question. I'll now answer in my capacity, wearing my hat as Festival and Fair Chair. So the planning has been going very well thus far. We actually started planning, doing our strategic analysis and planning from many, many months ago, as late as late last year. So the conversations have been going very well. We've been engaging a lot of different performers, artists, seeing how we can actually enhance the whole festival product and get it out there as early as possible. Persons may have realized that we actually put out a save the date from since last year and then put it out again early this year, as well as the schedule of events, which, as I mentioned earlier, actually encompasses when festival starts, the main activities, including the pageants and all of these things, so person can actually start planning. So right now, we're just going to, very soon, within a couple of days, start releasing the specific artists that are going to be performing in the festival. And we've been in contact with sponsors, potential sponsors, industry partners, to see how we can all work together, including the media, to enhance it. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank the media members who came here at very short notice today. Thank you for making yourselves available as we make this very important announcement. I'll just repeat that, of course, on June 30th, at the beautiful location of Brandywine Bay, we'll be having a non-stop concert, which features international recording artists, Conscience, as well as Monet, Vibe, and Rock City. And it's going to be an awesome event, and we certainly invite you to come and celebrate really the nonstop flight to the BVI. And we're going to have nonstop excitement and nonstop fun. And I know persons are going through a great deal of stress, and these events are very good in helping persons to relieve their stress. So we look forward to a safe and enjoyable time at Brandywine Bay at June 30th. So looking forward to seeing you there. And I thank you for spending a little bit of your Friday afternoon with us. God's blessings to you. And I want to thank Doc Walters as well for making himself available as a part of this, as this press briefing, being available to ask questions. So thank you, God's blessings. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend.